The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hi.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to Open, the show that brings the Bronx and the world to you. I've got you covered like a blanket. I'm the Doc Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. And coming up, it's Women's History Month, and we'll take a good look at what one group is doing to come together to promote spiritual connection and unconditional love. That's that agape love that we always talk about. Plus, we'll be joined by an organization working to provide a wide array of services to youth in our city. Then after that, it's The Bronx is Back. This month, we'll check out some of what the performers and hear about all their stories and all that stuff. And then we'll sit down with a Bronx-based filmmaker and producer and preview her upcoming debut. And then my man Bobby C, he has the latest in the headlines of sports. He throws it down. He throws strikes. And then later on, Forever Freestyle is back. Uh-oh, I know who's going to be doing that. And he's back at Lehman Center, and we'll talk to the man behind the scenes. All right, he's Sal Abatello from the Fever Records and all that stuff. He's going to stop by. We'll we'll get a chance to talk to him. So all that and more is headed your way because we're open. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Doc Bob Lee, and you're watching Open, the live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off from March the 19th through April the 16th, our first guest will hold a women's circle for curious caregivers. Watch out. It's going to be every Tuesday. Joining us with all the details, we have life coach and trainer Allison Reynoso. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You've been here before?
I've never been here before.
First time.
First time, very excited.
What do we do to first timers? Anybody's looking up, because there's a few first timers over there too. Well, welcome to the show. We want to make you feel nice and comfortable.
Thank you.
Tell us about some of the things that you're doing in our community.
Definitely. I'm a life coach. I'm a woman. I'm a human. I'm a mother. I'm a life coach, and I'm really here to empower women more than anything else. This particular circle is for caregivers who are curious about
Curious
expanding.
caregivers.
Curious
Yeah.
caregivers.
All
Well,
right.
I decided to call it a women's circle for curious caregiver for a reason. And as a caregiver myself, I learned that the way to go is to truly connect to yourself and to remember who you are, remember the essence of who you are so that you can tap into that.
Yeah, and if you're curious about it, you want to find out more about it, huh?
It takes curiosity. It also takes the willingness to be open. It takes willingness to look within and to really take a closer look at your relationship with yourself. I strongly believe that your relationship with yourself, it really determines how you interact with other people, especially as a caregiver.
Yeah, so you can't begin, the saying goes, you can't begin to take care of anybody else until you can first begin to take care of yourself.
Well, ideally, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
But how many of us are actually in a caregiving situation and we kind of forget what we want, what we need, and even what our goals are because the focus becomes the other person. So,
And what excited you about doing work like this?
oh, wow. I've been a caregiver for over 10 years. My man has sickle cell. And as you know, it's a lifelong
Very painful.
illness, very
Yeah,
painful. So I learned that it wasn't really enough to just be there and worry about him. I really needed to look within and find a way so that I could be good for him, but also good for myself. I also have a 6-year-old boy and that it brings a different challenge, a
Yeah.
different.
He has the trait, the sickle cell trait?
Oh no, no, he does have the trait. He doesn't have the illness.
He doesn't have it.
Thank
yeah.
God he doesn't. So adding one more member to the family, as you can imagine, really got me to thinking, what's there?
Well, boys will
what
be
else
boys,
is
so
there?
you have to deal with
Yeah.
that aspect of it.
And really going within and finding that essence for myself and joining that. And but when I talk about essence, I talk about your higher self, your inner self. Some people call it God, some people call it universe. It's
Yeah.
really going within.
Oh, okay. Well, when you talk about going within, what do you mean?
By going within, I mean finding ways to love yourself more. One of the exercises that I practice is all about practice too, because you may have an understanding, but it really takes practice in
Yeah.
order for you to get the results that you need, the results that you want. So one of the practices that I use daily is what I call mirror work, mirror play.
work.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
And it's basically looking at yourself in the mirror, really, really looking
Who am
into your
I?
eyes. Who am I? And also, do I really love myself? I love myself. I'm willing to take a look.
Yeah. Inner works are pretty powerful. It's going within, talking to yourself. People say, oh, he's talking to himself or she's talking to herself. But, sometimes you see somebody talking on the phone, you don't know they have an earpiece. But you think they're talking to them. But no, the inner works are very, very powerful.
It's extremely important.
A lot of things come to you through inner works, dreams, dream therapy, and those things. So you decided to become a life coach.
I decided to become a life coach. I've been in public health for a really, really long time. And I decided that in order for me it's really my passion. It's so important to have a purpose.
Yes.
And I found that being a public health administrator is great. And I have worked for many years with end of life. And even working in end of life by itself.
You deal with death and dying?
Death and dying. In a management perspective, but even in management, I get to work with people who are seeing patients. So even having that kind of experience has given me a new look into what life is all about.
So you're bringing women together.
This particular group is to bring women together for them to take a closer look at their relationship to themselves first, to take a closer look at their relationship to their inner beings again, and to really bridge that gap. And in coaching, it's all about where you are and what you want. And my role is to really bridge that gap so that women, in this case, women are able to come up with ideas, to look inside of the box,
Yeah.
to be willing to truly step out of their comfort zone. Because
Yeah.
that's really where you grow.
Perfect. So in order to know where you're going, you got to know where you've been, know where you are,
Exactly.
to know where you're going.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So you've been doing this for some time now.
I've been doing life coaching for 3 years. And it's really a transformative experience. It really is. The coaching relationship is more of a partnership.
Yes.
Instead of me being the expert and my clients being, for me, it's not about telling you what to do. It's
Yeah.
really a partnership where the client is really the expert.
What do you tell people about shifting perceptions?
Oh, shifting perception. I begin by really having them experience and know who they really are. Just the fact that they are breathing is a gift. So coming from that perspective, that breathing, your lungs, your body, the ability to speak is a gift.
You get into breath work also?
Yes,
Oh,
of
look at
course.
you.
Just coming from that perspective, it really changes your life. It changes who you are, but it also changes the way you interact with other people.
All right.
You become more tolerant and less judgmental.
One last
honestly.
thing. Where can we reach you for more information for people who want to get involved in what you're doing? Or
Definitely, it's easy. It's just visit www.freshaircoach.com, and AIR is AER.
Gotcha.
Those are my initials.
Say it again.
Freshaircoach.com.
Hey, I used to work for the Fresh Air Fund when I was a kid, 14, 15, 16, in Queensbridge projects.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you for coming and
Thank
sharing
you.
that great information,
Thank you
okay?
so much.
Give it to me one more time. Where can we find you?
Freshaircoach.com.
All right, Allison E. Reynoso, life coach, trainer, accomplishment coaching. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more next on Open.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
And welcome back. I'm your host, the Dr. Bob Lee. Our next guest is the founder of Elite Learners, a school and community-based organization working to provide programs in sports and arts and more. Joining us with all the details, we have founder Kamara Jackson. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
High five. Boom. Handshake. Boom. Hug. Bam. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I see you got the
for
jacket
having
on
me.
and everything. Look at that.
Yes.
Do we get one of those? Can you lace up the staff?
I can.
So tell us about your wonderful work.
Oh, Elite Learners, Inc. is a school and community-based organization. We provide a variety of wraparound services, programs. We specialize in mentorship, right? So all of our programs are mentorship-based, which means that we have a relationship with our youth. And we're able to guide them and make sure that they become successful individuals.
Yeah. Now, how important is that relationship with the youth?
Very
Because
important.
a lot of people say, all right, here, take this,
And-
take that,
yeah.
take this, take this.
And
take
that's the
that.
difference with Elite.
And you're there every step of the way.
And we make sure that from beginning to end, once you're enrolled in any one of our programs, you and your family receive services if need be. And we're there to make sure our youth know that they have a support system.
Yeah. And I know you're working with a very special young lady. She helps to get your word out and all that
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
She goes by the name of
Sharon, Netstruck. PR.
Lead.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, she does some great work in our community too.
yes.
So tell us about the anti-violence initiatives.
So I'm actually wearing my jacket as part of our anti-violence initiative. We have a variety of programs in schools and in the community that are anti-violence based, right? Meaning our youth are starting to promote and let their peers in the community knows that we don't tolerate any acts of violence, right?
No.
So one of our programs is a hospital responder program where we respond immediately to any violent traumas that happen within the community.
So you
right?
teach them CPR and all the things that they need?
So we do have workshops that teach CPR and how to heal gunshot wounds.
What?
How to heal gunshot wounds?
Oh.
Yes. But
Wait, on the spot?
on the spot. Yeah, our youth are getting training to make sure that if they're ever in the situation where they have to look out for someone and heal those, wounds or do whatever they need to do.
Stop the bleeding.
Stop the bleeding, yes.
I was talking to one of the police officers a while ago. She's a good friend of mine. And she said, she had to deal with somebody in Brownsville, Brooklyn, and there was a gunshot wound. And she had to stop the bleeding. She
Yeah.
took out a tampon.
And put it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we make sure our youth, right, if they're ever in that situation, they know how to react.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the organization responds to the traumas. Right.
Right.
So we respond to make sure that we can, aid or even mediate any type of conflict, as a result. So.
That's good. I mean, to get them thinking this way instead of that way,
That's the goal.
Let's try to
Try
get you
to-
away from this and get you into something else.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, a lot of those people go on to become, police officers, they work with the fire department, they work with EMS, they become doctors and nurses.
But not only that, is that it aids community partnerships.
Yes.
Right? So we're able to make sure that our youth feel comfortable with the officers within their own community. And, they're not afraid. So
Yeah.
we're kind of bending relationships.
Now, you work in a certain area. Are you thinking about extending?
I would love to
Because
expand.
a lot of people find out more about your programs and want to emulate those.
Yes, I would love to expand. Right now, we're primarily in Brownsville and East New York, but we are open to doing work in other places and look forward to expanding.
How about Rocky Robinson? You know Rocky Robinson?
No, who's Rocky Robinson?
He's with the Volunteer Ambulance Corps.
Oh, no, I'll
The
make sure.
Bedford-Stuyvesant Volunteer Ambulance Corps.
Okay.
And he deals with the Save a Life Rescue Mission and all that.
Nice, nice. Okay.
Yeah, you should look him up with Sharon. Or look him up and maybe you can partner with him in some instances,
Definitely.
Check it out, yeah.
Definitely.
So what are your goals? What's coming up next? What are you guys doing?
Well, one of the goals is to definitely expand. We would like to increase services both in schools and out of schools. And we have, this month we have our International Women's Event where we're highlighting many women within the community in one of our high schools, which is Brownsville Academy High School.
Okay.
Right? So we just have an ongoing influx of services.
Look at you. So that's going to be a one-day event?
That's going to be a one-day event. It's going to be March 20th, and it's at Brownsville Academy High School.
Mom's birthday, March 20th. At what high school?
Brownsville Academy.
High School. All right.
Yeah,
And what time does that start?
it's 11 o'clock.
Sharon, you let us know more about that. Maybe we can jump on to that.
We would love to have you.
Yeah. So tell us more about what you guys are doing. Some of the artists are going to be there too.
Yes.
Who's going to be there?
Well, we have a panelist of women that have had an impact in elite learners and the programs. We're going to have Sunny Money Queens.
All right.
Yes, which is an author. She wrote a book called I Love Sunny. Sharon, Ms. Reed's going to be with us.
Oh, no.
We have an attorney, that works in the community and is from Brownsville. So,
And women will learn.
so what it's going to do, it's going to show our mentorship program, our Elite Ladies to Queens mentorship program, that there are successful leaders right in their community, right, that come from within the community. So it just reinforces that power that we can do what we set out to do, and we welcome it.
All right. Where can we see this? Can we go online and check it out?
So we're actually going to be live that day. You can go to the website. It's elitelearners.org.
EliteLearners.org.
Yes, and
Got
if
it.
Instagram is Elite Learners Inc.
All right. All right, so we can go there now and check it out. You have some stuff up.
Yeah,
explaining
everything's
everything.
up. The site is up. It's running. The Instagram is good.
On and popping.
So on and popping. It's lit.
It's lit. Look.
So please, Elite Learners Inc.
What's going to be the next word that people are going to use to describe something's on and popping or
I
lit?
don't know.
There's always something, right?
Yeah, it's always something.
Kamara Jackson, give her a big round of applause, everybody. Founder of Elite Learners Incorporated.
Thank you.
Boom.com.
I
Boom.
appreciate
Double
it.
high fives. Thank you so much. Wait, we'll take a break right here, but stay right there. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. We'll be right back with more Open next.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
I'm David Lesh, legal correspondent to the morning show Open. If you have a legal question that you'd like me to answer, please send me an email at davidlesh@bronxnet.org, and I will address it on our Ask Your Lawyer segment.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
And welcome back, everybody. Hey, on March the 23rd and 24th, just a few days before my birthday, it's a Bronx. It's the Bronx. It's a festival celebrating Bronx talent. It returns. And joining us with all the details and a preview, we have performers Mati and Brad Hester. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Good to be
what are we
here.
doing? Bronx Strong. Bronx Strong. Yes, sir.
Strong.
All right. So what are we doing? What are we doing? What do we have?
Well, I'm a singer. I was born in Bangladesh, and I came here when I was 7 years old.
All right.
Yeah.
Because you found out there was a lot happening in the
Yeah,
States.
I mean, land of opportunity and all. And I've been growing up in the Bronx for a very long time with my mom. Yeah. I sing. I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been in the studio just making music also. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Very excited to be a part of this. Thank you for having us.
Oh, yeah. Well, and Hester?
Yeah, I'm a hip-hop artist from the Bronx. I was born and raised here around 161st Street. So this is home for me, South Bronx. Yeah.
So you know the history of hip-hop and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Because there's a man over there, his name is Sal. He started hip-hop, coming out of disco and all that stuff through the Fever. He'll let you know more when he gets on the set.
Okay.
Man. Yeah.
All right, looking
Oh,
forward
man,
to that.
great.
Yeah,
So
excited.
what are you guys doing now? What's going to happen?
Yeah, so It's the Bronx is pretty much what we're trying to do is just put a lot more eyes on the creatives and the artists in the Bronx. I feel like there's so much untapped talent here, and we have to let people know about it. A lot of the bigger events generally happen in Brooklyn, Manhattan. That's like where you first think about when there's a festival happening.
Right.
But we're going to get a lot more eyes on the
Yeah.
Bronx coming up. Yeah.
We're very proud to just represent the hustle of the Bronx and be a part of this big event that's never been done before in the Bronx. And it's not only music, it's also art, it's food.
Just the culture?
Just the culture.
The entire culture. Yeah. All
That's
Bronx
what's
natives,
up.
like they have different types of artists, painters, singers, rappers,
Exactly.
food vendors, like she said. So we're covering the whole bases.
So it's the Bronx. It's not just a one-day thing, is it?
It's going to be.
Tell us about what's going to happen.
Yeah, so it's just going to be a one-day thing for now. It's going to
Yeah.
be 11 to 11, so it's a full
It's
packed
a full day event. Full day. You can't miss it.
Full-day event, and we're going to be covering with the Bronx. FM is going to be there with his camera because he told me, in my ear that it's going to be a one-day thing. He's going to be there. He's going to cover it all.
Okay.
Okay.
Excited.
It's going to be a
Yes.
long day, but I'm sure it'll be good.
Make sure you get your coffee, you know.
There's going to be food and everything there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be food,
Food vendors,
drinks.
Yeah,
and
Bronx Brewery.
Yeah.
obviously
They'll have those
us,
drinks.
we're like the best part of it.
Entertainment, yeah. You're going to be performing also, right?
Yeah, I'll be
You're
rapping.
performing?
Yeah, we're both performing. I mean, yeah, so I think there's just a lot of headliners also, so it's not just us where you guys
Who's
are
going to be
going
there?
Richard Picasso, Genius, Ayana the singer, just a lot of dope musicians from the Bronx.
Good. Oh, you got to talk to Sal. So you have skills.
Yes.
You know. You know if you have skills, you're going to
Is
want
there
you
a
to...
kitchen? Maybe no.
You can cook too? All right, so you can sing and cook.
Mostly ramen,
Not ramen noodles.
Put some spice in there. You know,
Oh, yeah?
Mix it up. Yeah.
So if you have skills, let me just like a quickie.
Okay. Maybe I'll sing something in Bengali.
Yeah.
So well, this is a little sampler from my.
And you're gonna do it over there too? You're gonna.
I hope to have it out by then. Janona, that I'm all you need. Got you on your knees.
Uh-oh.
Got you calling me. Yeah.
That's all they get for now.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good
That's all they
tease.
get for now.
That's a good.
That's it. That's all
I
you
gotta
get.
come out
Maybe
March
have somebody
23rd.
on
March
knees, you know,
23rd.
And then you,
23rd.
of course, you got to kick something.
Yeah, so it's like how he cracked but never crack under pressure. I owe that to the DNA of my blackest ancestors. Young and restless, them boys are fake as a match full of wrestlers. My drive supercharged like a Tesla for future endeavors. And stop right there.
Hey.
Leave it right there.
March
You don't wanna
23rd,
jump that.
come out. I'm doing a lot more banging beats, good lyrics,
Exactly.
doing the whole thing.
Yep.
That's good. Old school, new school, and all that stuff coming together, right?
Everything in between.
That's
yes,
good.
sir.
That's good. And then the smell of the food. It's a festival.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's the location again?
It's gonna be at Andrew Friedman House, so that's not
Oh,
too
yeah,
far from
right
the
off
Yankee
the
Stadium.
concourse. Right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
Are
great.
you coming?
I'm going to check out the dates and see what we can do. I know
Okay.
FM is
I
going to be
mean,
there.
Birthday shout outs all
Yeah, right.
around. It's
All
your
right.
birthday. Let's go.
Okay. You going to sing happy birthday?
Of course. Of course I will.
Now you got more of a reason to come.
Don't start. That's good. That's good. So what's next after this? You guys have something planned after this?
So they're going to try to make an entire series out of this. This is just
Yeah.
the first
Travel
of
around to different
plenty
places?
of events.
Oh,
Exactly.
Good. Yeah,
Yeah,
package
this
that.
is-
You know, everybody's
You got to
Doing
stay
all kinds of
tuned
stuff.
because we're here
Yeah.
all year. Yeah. There.
putting it on record. You going into the studio?
Oh yeah.
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 A lot of that coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's working on.
I mean, yeah, I definitely have more music. I'm basically just trying to incorporate more of Bengali and English together as I give you a sample.
Yeah,
and I hoping, fingers crossed, to have an EP out by the end of this year.
Oh,
Yeah, so
So
stay
you guys
tuned.
got to come back again and let us know what's going on.
Would love to come
100%.
back.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
can come back and perform it. We have a performance.
Yeah.
We have a performance stage right over there. So when you come,
Okay,
we'll set it up for you.
let's
Hook
go.
it up.
100% down for that.
All right. Is there a collective or collaborative website that you guys are working on?
As of right now, I guess just it's the Bronx.
Yeah,
website.
it's just, you'll find us at It's the Bronx. My Instagram is Mati_Gaika. And
And my Instagram is I am Brad Hester.
There you go. We applaud you guys. Thank you for all your work.
Thank
and,
you for
you know, if
having
we can't
us.
make it down, I'm sure FM in my ear, he said he may be there. He's going to check
okay,
it out.
Yeah.
looking forward to
But
it.
make sure you talk to him about bringing the Bronx cameras there. I'm
All
sure,
right.
you know, we'll cover you guys. All right. That about does it for us with you. Give us that website one more time.
Yeah, it's
The
gonna
Bronx?
Be, yeah.
It's the Bronx?
It's thebronx.com.
It's thebronx.com. All right, we'll go there and check it all out. Thank you guys so much. Mati, singer and songwriter, and Brad Hester, songwriter and singer
And rap.
and producer and rapper. You just add it on, because you know, and then you'll probably be an author and all that stuff down the line too, right? Thank you guys for coming
Thank
by,
you.
all right?
Thank you for having
We'll
us.
take a quick break, but we'll come right back with some more Open next.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Patriotism,
It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
And welcome back. Our next guest is a filmmaker and public access producer at BronxNet, and joins us today for a preview of her film that will be airing at the March It's the Bronx event. What? Well, we welcome Catherine Warren to the show. Catherine, welcome.
Welcome. I'm glad to be
nice
back.
Nice to see you. Yeah. So you've been doing a lot of stuff since the last time we saw you.
I tell you, man, the life of a BronxNet public access producer.
Uh-huh.
No.
You been doing that?
Well, you know, that's my full-time gig.
What is that life like?
For me, it's been rewarding. I had to pause for a second, but for me, it's been rewarding. It's been selfishly healing for myself as well as the audience, but I do it mainly for myself, and the benefits that I get from it have been amazing, which has led to me now making my first film.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what it's all about.
Yeah.
Moving to the next level.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned healing. How did that, something happen where you had to use something to overcome something, or?
Well, I think in this day and age, that's the mantra for everyone right now, trying to find healing just in everyday life. And I think because of the political climate, everyone is trying to find ways to make things better on a massive scale, but forget the intimate work that we as humans need to do effectively in our own personal lives. So I think the show, what I mean healing, is just that it's been, these conversations that we've been having have been healing, where people don't feel so alone in life experiments that they're going through. So as I'm evolving and going through these experiments, you know, the light bulb moment sometimes is for me outside of the audience. And I'm like, oh snap, that was great.
Yours while you're doing
man,
it.
You know, and I'm like, okay, and I'm grateful, which again led to this movie, because initially it started out as a gig, and then it turned into me realizing that my next evolvement was me telling stories on a film level. And, you know, I did the first documentary short.
Well, you're a storytelling kind of person.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But I realized that, you know, I don't think we all come into knowing exactly what our purpose is going to be.
Yeah.
So I realized in my involvement that I was a storyteller.
Yeah. So you mentioned something about this thing of division, this thing that's out there now that's causing everybody to say, no, look at you, look at the Adam and Eve type of thing. Look at you, what you got, look what you got. And this division is divide and conquer type of thing.
Which is just still a blur.
Where, I mean.
In my opinion.
And the thing that's out there that's they're trying to say is the new normal.
Right.
Scrap that new normal. Let's get rid of that.
Well, I mean, maybe not get rid of it, but learn how to adapt.
Okay.
You know, and learn how to,
I can deal with that.
You know, learn how to make it work for yourself, because everything is always going to be changing and evolving, which is like the movie, The Untitled Journey. I couldn't come up with a title because life is always, we're on a constant journey.
Yeah.
So it's figuring out the journey along the way and how to work it best
You just
for the
came up with a
time.
title in what you just said.
I don't know about that. Change titles always change.
I know.
You know, but I mean, you have to figure out, because you're not in control of what's happening amongst us, right? So instead of fighting it, you know, let's figure out how to, I won't say blend in if it don't work for you, but, you know, figure out how it can work for you so that you enjoy the time that you have here, which is a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not here that long.
It reminds me of when I had my chemistry and biology sets, and I was getting involved in all this stuff, and how I got the name the doctor as a little kid.
Okay.
But I used to look at all these things under the microscope, and things were moving in the same direction for a common cause, whatever that cause was under that microscope. But I think that's what we have to get back into. If something's not going right, then you put something there to change the course of what's happening.
Right.
Or try to change the course.
Or try to change, you know, because it's possible, rather than just complaining or staying stuck. You know what I mean? What does that accomplish? So why not? You know, especially if the tools are there given. You know, sometimes they're not given because they're purposely blurred, so we don't get it. But if we do the work, you know what I mean? It's there for us to find, you know, and live and enjoy and be here.
Look at you.
Yeah.
That's important. You got to do the work.
Yeah,
do the things
you
necessary
have to
to make
do
it
the
all
work.
successful,
You know
make
what I'm
it
saying?
happen.
The scriptures are a guide for us,
Mhm.
and the scriptures tell us faith without works is dead. So you can't just
Oh,
wish
wait a
for
minute now.
something. Oh yes,
Okay,
you
wait.
forgot?
All right. Wait a
Y'all
minute.
better tell him.
Oh, shoot, if you don't know, you better ask
You
somebody.
better ask somebody. Minister Cat came back in the building. Shoot, always gonna bring it in. But I mean, but that's the
Wait a
truth,
minute.
though.
Yeah. So wait a minute. Besides doing the film, you need a place to preach.
Well, you know, I preach on natural sessions, and I preach on the untitled journey because a minister is just simply someone who provides a message.
Yeah.
And the movie is providing a message of behind the scenes of what's it like to be an artist here.
Right, right.
And not only what's it like to be an artist, but what's it like to be an artist and challenged with activism. You know, wanting to do more for your community, but the effects that being an artist takes on.
Kicking the science.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So what
That's
made
what
you want to come up
storytellers
with
do.
this? How did you figure out that this is this is the next thing? This is what I want to do. I've been on my grind for a little while, and I want to come up with a film.
Well, like you said, you know, from early on when you was playing with your chemistry set and the name Doctor came, from early on I've been telling stories without realizing it. So when I got the opportunity, being a BronxNet producer, someone asked me to film this woman,
So
you know,
you've been
this story.
dancing. You've been
I've
dancing
been
for a while,
dancing, right?
And then you
so,
figured out, hey,
well,
wow, I'm
but
dancing.
in the dance, I figured out. I didn't know that I was a filmmaker. So then when I'm realizing early on from my childhood and I'm coming into, wow, you know, when I was at the Newark Film Festival last year, without any type of advertising, just like It's the Bronx, I was at this event, standing room only. I see my movie on a big screen, and I was blown away.
Yeah,
and when I sat there and saw my movie with being screened and got a little, I was like, wow. This might be what I'm supposed to do. So, you know, It's the Bronx is coming up, and I applied and, you know, got chosen to be one of 4 or 5 other filmmakers to screen my movie. And, yeah, this year, that's what I'm doing. I'm still filming my show regularly. To keep my certification, you got to do your show every month. You know what I'm saying? Can't get your equipment without. But the film thing is what I'm doing right now. I'm screening all year round. So It's the Bronx is the first place that I'm screening for 2019, March 23rd. And yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be massive. Did you just see the other 2 people? Like, we're taking over this month. It's the Bronx is doing this thing.
Yeah. So you're going to have to get involved in SAG and AFTRA and all that stuff.
I don't know. I think I'm on my own path here. Because the way things have been happening has not been the normal route that, you know, folks do this. So
That's okay.
I don't know.
You can rock that route for a little while, but
Yeah,
then
man.
SAG and AFTRA is going to have to jump in and say, hey,
All
come
right,
on, let's go.
yeah.
If you're going through this path,
Everybody got to
let's-
tax you somewhere.
Well, it's a path that you go through
Right.
if you're going to
That's true, because I
get
am
an Academy Award and all that stuff.
my Emmy.
And be in line with, you know, scale and get the right pay and all that, and a pension
See, I'm
and all that
still
stuff.
learning
Yeah, it's
with
coming.
the camera. I'm
It's
still
coming.
learning.
It's coming. Where's your, give me your website where we can go and look at you some more.
Well, everyone can always go to thekittyroselifestyle.com. They're going to post my blog you can go to. You can find me on the gram at Ms. MZ Kitty Rose, YouTube. And you can find me on BronxNet, Wednesdays at 12 a.m. Catch Natural Sessions. And catch me at It's the Bronx, March 23rd. Yeah,
There you
baby. With
go.
my camera. Yeah.
KittyRose.com. Catherine S. Warren, thank you so much for
Thank
stopping
you
by.
for having
all right?
me back.
Hugs and
I
kisses to
appreciate
you.
you. Yes. Mwah.
I'll see you.
Yes.
All right. Take a break. Come back with more next.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
We begin on the NBA hardwood. Made a mistake on Friday, noting that the Knicks were in Sacramento to face the Kings over the weekend, but that game was home Saturday afternoon. My bad. The Knicks were on the road Sunday, though, and fell to Minnesota 103-92. Taj Gibson scored a season-high 25 points. Jeff Teague added 20 and 10 assists, and the T-Wolves topped the Knicks, playing without All-Star center Karl Anthony Towns. Meanwhile, the Brooklyn Nets will be home tonight to host Detroit. The Nets were on the road over the weekend. Spencer Dinwiddie scored 23 points. Jarrett Allen added 20 and 12 rebounds, and the Nets held off the Atlanta Hawks 114-112 on Saturday night for their third straight win. On the ice, the Islanders will play host to Columbus. Puck drops at 7. Interesting stat here, with about 15 games remaining in the season, the Islanders are on track to be the top team in the league when it comes to goals against, giving up just 2.36 goals per game. They were one of the worst last season. That number is also among the top 40 of all teams that have played in the NHL since the start of the 2005-2006 season. Maybe it's the Barry Trotz effect. Maybe it's two goalies having career years at the same exact time. Maybe it's a combination of the two. No matter what the reason is, it is a stunning turnaround to see a franchise with largely the same personnel on the back end go from one of the worst defensive teams in the NHL in a generation to one of the best in just one season. The Rangers will skate in Edmonton tonight at 9 p.m. The New Jersey Devils return to action Tuesday in Calgary. That game gets underway at 9. Sad news for the Broadway Blue Shirts off the ice. NHL Hall of Fame defenseman Harry Howell, who played the most games in New York Rangers history, has died. He was 86. Howell died Saturday night. He had been living at an assisted care facility near his hometown of Hamilton, Ontario. A 7-time All-Star, Howell played 1,160 games for the Rangers from 1952 to 1969 and had his number 3 retired by the team. He also played in the NHL for the Oakland/California Golden Seals and Los Angeles before finishing in the World Hockey Association. Julia Ruth Stevens, Babe Ruth's adopted daughter, died Saturday in Henderson, Nevada at 102 years old, her son Tom announced. Her mother was Ruth's second wife, Claire, whom he married 90 years ago next month when Ruth was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in November. A statement by Stevens and her family called her father a real-life example of the American dream. Esteban Loaiza, who won 126 games over 15 Major League seasons, will be deported after serving a 3-year prison sentence for cocaine possession. Bob, the former Yankee, couldn't get deported during that terrible 2004 playoff series with the Boston Red Sox. That's when we needed him to go. Aaron Judge got a $62,000 raise from the New York Yankees, up from $684,300 in the right fielder's last season before becoming eligible for salary arbitration. What a steal. The Phillies are paying Bryce Harper how much over 13 years at $330 million in total? Sounds like a lot more, but Judge is trending in that direction, of course. Catcher Gary Sanchez was given a $49,400 raise, hike up from $669,800 as the team reached agreements with its young players whose salaries are under player club control. He also will be eligible for arbitration next winter. Second baseman Gleyber Torres agreed to $605,200, up from last year's $545,000 minimum. And third baseman Miguel Andujar struck a deal for $617,600, an increase from $545,800. Damn, I wish we made this kind of money, Bob. We need better agents, I think. Outfielder Clint Frazier, sidelined for most of last season following a concussion, gets $563,300, a slight raise from $559,200. First baseman Luke Voigt agreed to $573,200, up from $546,500 in the majors last year as part of the contract he agreed to with St. Louis, which traded him, of course, to the New York Yankees. We touched on it Friday morning. Yanks have some spring health woes, especially the pitching department. Masahiro Tanaka will be the New York Yankees opening day starter March 28th against Baltimore right here in the Bronx, taking the spot left open by Luis Severino's shoulder trouble. Yankees manager Aaron Boone announced the decision before Saturday night's spring training game with the Orioles. Tanaka is replacing Severino, who will not make the start at Yankee Stadium because of right shoulder inflammation. Severino was scratched from his first planned start of spring training Tuesday after feeling discomfort after throwing his first slider in a pregame bullpen session. Yanks tied the Tigers 2-2 in spring training action Sunday as part of a split squad game, or series, I should say. The Mets crushed the St. Louis Cardinals 9-1. Yanks are 8-6 on the spring. The Mets are 8-8. Not that it really matters anyway. The terms are in, and the Pittsburgh Steelers did not get a a first-round pick for receiver Antonio Brown. The Raiders will send to Pittsburgh a 2019 third-round pick and a 2019 fifth-round pick for Brown. Last year, the Raiders sent a third-round pick to the Steelers for receiver Martavius Bryant. The Steelers had insisted that they would not trade Brown without significant compensation. Whether the compensation received was significant is in the eye of the beholder. However, for a player of Brown's caliber, a 3 and 5 doesn't seem all that significant. In the end, the Raiders traded Amari Cooper, a third-round pick, and a fifth-round pick for Antonio Brown, and a first-round pick. Looking at it that way, that looks like a great deal for Oakland. Linebacker Olivier Vernon is a goner after the New York Giants agreed to ship him to Cleveland for guard Kevin Zeitler. Safety Landon Collins will be finding a new home in the next week as well. If you were brought in by the Giants, under the previous regime, don't buy, rent instead. There seems to be a strong chance you won't be around long with General Manager Dave Gettleman and Coach Pat Shurmur making the moves. Gettleman continues to be busy reshaping and overhauling his roster. There are only 13 players remaining from their arrival just over a year ago. The O-line looking sharp for the G-men, but the defense has taken a hit. Gangrene's O-line is much improved following a deal with those same wheeling and dealing Raiders. Oakland has agreed to trade veteran starting left guard Kelechi Osemele and a 2019 sixth-round pick to the Jets for a fifth-round pick in the upcoming NFL draft. The deal is not official until Wednesday when the NFL ushers in its new calendar year. News of Osemele, a two-time former Pro Bowler and one-time All-Pro departing Oakland, came less than 24 hours after troubled but ultra-talented receiver Brown garnered headlines with the announcement of a deal to send him to the Raiders from Pittsburgh for a third and fifth round pick. Team Penske's hot start to the motorsports season continued Sunday with a Joseph Newgarden victory in the IndyCar season opener, the fourth win for a Penske car in 7 days, spanning 3 different series. Newgarden crossed the finish line on the downtown streets of St. Petersburg at almost the exact same time Ryan Blaney, another Penske driver, led the field to green in the NASCAR race at Phoenix. Team Penske won consecutive NASCAR races, 2 supercar races in Australia, and now a showcase on the IndyCar schedule. Kyle Busch won Saturday's Xfinity Series race at ISM Raceway in Phoenix, claiming his 11th victory on the one-track mile. Busch led 116 of 200 laps, including the final 67 to score his second win in a row after he won last weekend at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Joe Gibbs Racing has won all 3 races since the season opener at Daytona. Busch beat Ryan Truex, who made his first start of the year in Junior Motorsports number 8 Chevrolet. It is Truex's 4th career Xfinity top 5 and matched his career best result, which was in Dover 2012. Yesterday, NYCFC played to a draw against DC United. The Red Bulls fell to Santos 2-0. The second leg of that series continues Tuesday, while NYCFC is back in action on March 17th, squaring off against LAFC. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a nod to the best college basketball team in New York City right now. The Fordham women's basketball Rams are the 2019 Atlantic 10 champions after defeating top-seeded VCU 62-47 on Sunday afternoon. With the win, the team's 12th straight, matching the program record set by the other title-winning team in 2013-14. The Rams improved to 25-8 on the year, tied for 4th most victories in a single campaign, while VCU finishes its season at 23-9. Of course, if you've been watching right here on BronxNet, we have the Ram with Coach Gately, one of our newer shows that features the amazing women's hoops team. And the best part, their season isn't done yet. Bree Kavanaugh scored a game-high 22 points, and Mary Goulding added 19 and 4 steals in the win. Both were named to the All-Championship team, with Goulding being named the tournament's most outstanding player. The Rams are now destined for their 3rd ever trip to the NCAA tournament. The NCAA selection show will air next Monday, March 18th. Although the women's programs don't often get the same pub as the men's sports, unfortunately, it's clear that the Fordham women are the best college hoops team in the Big Apple right now. And honestly, under Coach Gately, they have been in this conversation for the last several years. A real gem right here in the Bronx at Rose Hill. Congrats to the Fordham women. Tune in to the Ram with Coach Gately right here on BronxNet. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
And welcome back. On March the 16th, Forever Freestyle makes its way back to the Lehman Center with featured artists including Judy Torres, TKA, Rob Bass, and more. Wow, it's going to be, they do it all the time. I think this is the 9th annual, right?
13, baby.
13th annual. 13th. Joining us with the preview is Sal Abatello of Fever Records. Welcome.
What's up?
Man, I remember DJing at the Fever like 100 years ago.
Who was the
hip-hop.
first DJ at the Fever? You were.
That's right.
77?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, man. You're looking good.
Good.
Good. So you have another one coming up. Wait, it's another one. It's the 13th annual.
13th annual. 12 sellouts in a row.
12. Hey, this is going to be a sellout too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it is coming up on March the 16th.
This week, this Saturday.
This Saturday, Lehman Center for the Performing Arts. Who's going to be there?
Oh, we got TKA, you got George Lamont, you got Rob Bass, Niobe, Noel, Coro. I mean, I'll read it. Johnny O, Cynthia, Judy Torres, Strafe, set it off.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, Elias, Follow Me.
Yeah.
Fascination. Yeah, it's a great show. We got about 15 acts.
It's going to be
It'll be a long night.
Yeah. But that's good. You know, I've sat and helped you host a few.
Oh,
of
they
those.
love it. They love it.
Yeah. Good. So tell us about the Freestyle Forever concert. How did you come up with that?
Well,
Because it's a mixture of disco and hip hop.
Well, what I've been doing is I've been combining, the last 15 years. Everything's coming full circle, because hip hop was around in the mid 70s. I opened up the Fever in 77. Did that for like 10 years, and then when I stumbled onto Latin hip hop in '85, I opened up a club called the Devil's Nest.
Yeah.
On Tremont Webster in the Bronx. So, the Bronx is responsible for hip hop, salsa, freestyle. So, we got a big history
You're right
here.
there.
Oh yeah, we got
in
history
it.
here. So I started lately combining it with the hip hop, the old school hip hop, like Sugar Hill, Curtis, Rob Bass, Soul Sonic Force, it's all coming full circle. It's like 30, 40 years, and everybody grew up on both of those musics.
Yeah.
Especially in the Boogie Down.
Remember the good times at the Fever, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The
front room or the back room?
Both.
As Curtis and Raheem know.
Yeah, we know about the back room and the front room.
Yeah.
But it was always good times coming out of the Fever, We've come a long way with it. You started Fever Records behind it.
Yep. In '81, actually, Curtis produced the first record, Games People Play.
Yeah. I just spoke to him about 3-4 months ago. Sweet G.
Yeah,
He's in South Carolina.
Yeah, I saw him.
Columbia, South Carolina.
I was with him about 2 months ago, too.
Yeah. He's a sheriff out there.
Oh, yeah. Deputy sheriff. Yeah.
He's doing great things.
Yeah, so the shirt I'm wearing, as you see,
Yeah.
DJ First Class, he has DJ'd on all these shows. Unfortunately, last week he passed away of a heart attack at 42 years old. So, we're putting together things to start honoring him and, take care of for his kids. And unfortunately, it's a tragedy. He's one of the best DJs in the Bronx. He's like a Bronx legend, Played all the clubs, played all the big events, Resorts Casino for me. And I know him since he's like, 19, 20 years old. So
I have a lot of his mixes in my computer.
Yep.
He'll put it on there, DJ First Class.
He was the club killer. He had a nice crew, and he played in every major club. And unfortunately,
you do something that night for him?
Yeah, I put together a 3-minute video for him with all his family and kids and friends and stuff. So we're going to show that
That's good,
right before intermission.
All right. So what can people expect that night? It's going to be a mixture of everything coming together.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? It's all hits. There's nobody does new music. It's classics. It's old school, and that's why they love it. You have 50 hits in a row. Nobody does. You can only do your hit.
Yeah.
No new songs.
Yeah.
It's just classics. Boom, boom, boom. So the audience is just on their feet for 4 hours because there's no letdown. Every time somebody sings a song, it's a song they grew up on or they're familiar with or brings it back to a good time in their life.
We may give you an intermission. We may stop for an intermission. Or
Yeah,
may
we
just keep on.
Well,
Some people
they're
just
getting up
keep
there
on
in age.
going.
We got to get them to go to the bathroom, man. They got to go get their wee-wee
A
passes.
bath and break. Bring it with you. I think it's built in some of those seats now.
Yeah,
right?
you know it. a little bucket underneath.
All right. One last thing. Tell people one more time, and then they're gonna wrap me up.
It's this Saturday. Still tickets available. Very few, probably up in the balcony, but you know. And you know,
good.
we also have the Erica Roman Foundation, as you know. We do the softball game, and we do an annual cruise. You know, we raise money. We raised $40,000 for breast cancer last year.
Oh, that's great.
And we do the Orchard Beach. Big making strides.
Sal,
for breast
man, we
cancer,
love
man.
you. You know,
Yeah.
you've been doing some wonderful things in the community. We partied with you, we cried with you, we broke bread with you,
know
and you know, we concert with you, and we're gonna be doing it again on the 16th, March 16th at the Lehman Center for the Performing Arts. It's right on the campus of Lehman College, 250 Bedford Park Boulevard, right in the Bronx. Tickets for Forever Freestyle 13 for Saturday, March the 16th.
Yeah, baby.
A few left, on sale now. Where
Yep.
can we get them?
You could go on feverrecords.com, my website. It'll take you right to the thing. Or you go on Lehman Center and purchase them right there. Go right to the box office, you know?
Sal Abatamo, give him a big round of applause, everybody in the
Hey.
house, everybody at home. Producer Freestyle Forever 13. Thank you so much, man. Always a pleasure to see you.
You know it.
All right, I'm coming. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. I'd like to thank our guests for joining us, for tuning in and checking it all out. And you can catch a recablecast tonight at 5 and 10 p.m. or watch anytime on the web at bronxnet.org, or you can tune in Wednesday for all new episode with our host, Darren Hyman. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. And always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the choosing. Remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. I'll see you on the radio tonight, 107.5 WBLS. Peace.
We built a media network for you.
BronxNet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on BronxNet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at bronxnet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. BronxNet TV.
From the Bronx
to the world.
BronxNet.